Mobs of protesters on the streets of Zimbabwe. But don't expect any uprising here. These are supporters of Robert Mugabe, an African strongman who's still very much in charge. 2 years after he was forced to share power with the opposition, President Mugabe still has a firm grip on this country, and he's impatient to tighten it with a snap election, even though he claims to be playing by the rules.
We are now going to the drafting stage of a new constitution.
So you're not going to unilaterally call an election?
We don't do things unilaterally. It must be proper within the GPA.
Do you think you can win an election?
Well, ask the people.
Certainly his loyalists seem to be rallying behind his latest campaign against sanctions. But it's hard to judge the level of support for Mugabe when his opponents still face violence and intimidation and would never dare gather in numbers like this. This does feel like the start of a new election campaign. But the fear is if Robert Mugabe calls for a vote before a new constitution's in place, there will be no chance of the true voice of the people here being heard.
Partnership is partnership.
Morgan Tsvangirai, the opposition leader and almost powerless prime minister, fears the worst.
I know, and I'm very confident of this position, that there are people inside ZANU-PF who know that in any free and fair contest, ZANU-PF cannot win an election. And so they want to return to their old methods of cohesion, violence, and intimidation. I would be keen to have an election every day, any day, anywhere. But I don't want an election which is almost like a declaration of war.
Another disputed election could be a disaster for Zimbabwe. The economy is just starting to recover and most of the people can now at least afford to eat. A disaster too, perhaps, for British and other foreign companies who are being targeted in Mugabe's indigenisation campaign.
The government is simply saying, hang on a minute, if you are denying us the opportunity of our people and our businesses to do business in the UK, why should we allow you an opportunity to continue to do business in this country? But it is also being very generous. We want you to retain 49%, we only take 51%, and we don't take it for free. We pay for it anyway.
At the age of 87, President Mugabe's health is fading, but his power is not, with the military and security forces still firmly on side. He might be watching his old friend Colonel Gaddafi's troubles with some concern, but not too much. The stage is not set for another revolution here. Emma Hurd, Sky News, Harare.